Now, some of you might have watched, I did a little bit of things I'm hyped for season 5 video. And because I ended up doing that and getting everything from the studio together a little too close to the action of the season, we didn't get a chance to have Joe come over and sit on the green screen. So I know he and Katie...
Which I'm wicked bummed about, because that video is awesome.
Green screen.
Thank you. But I want to give Joe an opportunity to talk a little bit about what he's excited about for season 5 and some of the stuff he's looking forward to. And so I also want to say right now, if anyone's watching this, if anybody at any point is watching this, and you happen to be not caught up, and you're just watching episode 6 for the first time, first of all, stop your life for a week and just marathon Game of Thrones, because it's worth it. Catch the fuck up.
Catch
the fuck up. But if you haven't already, please stop watching this podcast. In case something happens.
This will contain spoilers if you are not caught up to the current season, and I may end up spoiling a little because I'm talking about what I'd like to see, and it might happen to end up being spoilery shit.
So counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, spoilers are on.
Okay. First things first, dragons. Oh, who doesn't want to see more dragons? I cannot wait to see how big they've gotten coming back this season.
Daenerys being a better mom to them.
Yes.
Because she's bad so far.
Yeah. Who wasn't bummed having dragons getting tied up and chained up last season? Having her walk
brought
out.
Tears to my eyes.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. Like, she's been a good mom this whole time. She's freeing all these other slaves, but her dragons.
Kind of a negligent mom.
A little bit, yeah. Okay, so aside from that, most of her story kind of is boring in my mind in the books.
I'm just gonna
It gets better. It gets better as it goes. It wavers, but I found myself kind of just wanting more from it. So that's all I'm really looking forward to there.
Hoping it gets better. And
I don't know how they're going to do Tyrion's journey from here on out. It's really cool, but ultimately, again, here's the thing. Main thing I'm looking forward to. Number one thing, Arya motherfucking Stark.
Oh, so much.
She got on a boat at the end of last season, and she was talking about heading from like somewhere around just south of the Erie, I think, or somewhere I forget where exactly, but she makes it somewhere near the Twins, I believe, actually, to a town, and she gets out on a boat, and we think she's trying to head to the Wall. But I can't wait to see where she actually ends up. She said some weird shit, gave him the coin. Vala Morgullis. Dohaeris Morgullis, back at ya. Let's get out of here. And this coin was given to her by Jakar.
Nahara.
Jakar Hoen.
We all know who we're talking about.
And there's very mysterious shit surrounding this coin. It's a Braavosi coin. I really, really am excited to see the 100 Faces or House of 100 Faces, whatever it is, the House of Black and White, or whatever it is, the priest, the new shit that she does. I'm so excited. I read these books so long ago now at this point that I can't remember it all exactly, but I'm excited to see what the Game of Thrones people end up doing with her character. I know she's gonna. I know she runs into some people that are with Jon right now, which is some pretty exciting stuff. One of my other favorite characters that I haven't mentioned yet, Sam Tarly. I'm excited to see what goes on with him and his Gilly baby.
I want to see Brienne. More Brienne.
And Brienne of Tarth.
Yes.
Fresh off killing the Hound.
That woman.
Mm-hmm. And who doesn't love Jon Stark? But I know I'm going to get to see a bunch of Jon Stark stuff, so I'm not so super stoked to get to that. I'm really excited about Arya's story. Hers is the most exciting to me at this point coming up, and I'm really excited to see what they do. That being said, there's some new characters that get introduced this season.
Ooh.
People we don't know yet. There's a lot of them, and they're from this area in Dorne. We had an introduction of Oberyn. He fought the Mountain last season.
Oh.
Epic battle. He lost his life, unfortunately.
Oh,
and the Mountain is still kind of being kept alive by some freaky fucking necromancer doctor.
Occult stuff.
Weird shit that the Meister's like, dude, this guy's a flunked out of the academy. We kicked him out. Don't let him do this shit. But he's doing it to the Mountain. And all these people down here hate the Mountain, hate Tywin Lannister, and this is where
Dorne.
Myrcella is right now. Tyrion sent her down
This
here.
is Dorne?
This is Dorne.
Okay.
This is where the good
Ooh, a
wine's
Katie
from.
hand sighting.
Where Oberon's from.
Ooh.
Oberyn, excuse me. And there's some good shit. I can't wait to meet the snakes, the vipers. I can't wait to meet
Dr.
Oberon's brother. Yep. Who is the Lord in this area.
Are we supposed to see Jakar? I can't remember the rest of his
Yeah,
name.
he got cast this season. He's
Ooh.
in the cast list.
Well, that character is so great, and once we start getting into Arya's shit this season, there's a lot of fucked up shit that goes on in Bravos with her that it really makes me question shit all the way back. Like, and we know that this series isn't done being written yet, and it makes me question shit all the way back here in book 1 and shit that we might have even and characters we've already discussed from season 1.
Yeah.
And I never kind of put it together in my own head what I'm hinting at there, but once that was kind of pointed out to me, like, it really opens my mind to this Jakar Hoen character, and whatever his fucking name is.
It's right on the tip of my brain.
You want to just call him the Faceless Man?
The Faceless Man, yeah, because he has different faces. He changes right in front of her.
Cool.
You know?
But his name's cool, exactly, Katie. Let's get to a couple of the people's comments, what they're looking for. We have a couple of things in the comment section. Let me try to catch up a little bit. You guys rule. Thank you for letting me. No, thank you guys for fucking sharing. I did read that they made the season 5 boob free, so no more porn, just boring dialogue.
Oh well, that's kind of what
movies.
that's an HBO kind of staple. It happens with all of their shows. They're really
Waiting for season
even like
2.
Showtime and Cinemax.
Prove that to be early.
Season 1 and season 2 are all about the tit and ass, and then once they've got their audience of people who want to see the tit and ass, who doesn't love it,
Beat and
right?
switch.
Then they start getting into it and they start leaving out the tits and the flashing and all this shit. So that's fine with me. I don't. I love some tit and ass, but I don't need to see Cersei Lannister's tits every fucking week.
No.
Or Daenerys' tits every week. If I want to see Daenerys' tits again, I can watch season 1 when she's getting into the bath.
So Lola says.
But I want to see Daenerys' tits again. So
Lola
season 1 like
says,
7 times.
I think that they're combining the two forces of Kill the Freys and Kill the Boltons that were formerly filled with Lady Stoneheart in the Riverlands and Mance at Winterfell and giving it to Sansa. I think so as well. That's what something.
They're turning Sansa into Lady.
Possibly. I think it's going to be different though. It's going to be unique. But essentially that's correct. The heart of that's going to be done there.
That's
Will
a
also says I think they'll be
storyline,
hiding in the crypts and orchestrating that because some of the images seem to see that she's back at Winterfell at some point in the season. Igor says if Tyrion is in the first episode, that means his beard grows really fucking fast. Yeah, if we see it, what we see in the pictures. Katie agrees. No boobies. Sad. Rachel says, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Arya as well, right on the boat with you, Joe. Lola says this later in the season gives Theon a reason to save her instead of Arya as she may be found, talking about Sansa. And we have seen that Theon is part of the season, so it'll be interesting to see. He's the only Greyjoy in this season. Reek.
Yeah, and you know what? For the most part, I heard that they took most of the Greyjoy stuff out. They're going to just leave it out from this point on. And that kind of makes me upset that they even put any some of the stuff they did put in. But they could have left it.
My question is they skipped it, but are we at least going to hear that Balon Greyjoy dies?
I think that's what I think. And here's the thing: once we hear that, we don't really need to see. We don't need to get. They don't. All that Greyjoy shit basically revolves around the drowned god and like just their own family drama shit that's not really that important to what it seems.
It can happen off camera. I understand why they're not doing it because they want to streamline the series. My question is, are we at least going to get it talked about off camera?
I think on camera, you mean?
On camera, because it was one of the worms thing, the blood, Gendry bloodworm things that Stannis threw into the fire of the kings he wants dead, and one of them was Balon Greyjoy, and he's still alive. He's the only one that's still alive.
Right. So I think we'll get Balon's death talked about because they do end up talking about that, and I think we will. When we do need Balon's brother in the future, we introduce him then. There's no need to introduce him then.
And
Because
we're going to be
get the character, the actor again.
And we're going to be a lot more with Stannis and Melisandre this season, so it would make sense that we might get word to Stannis at some point that Balon Greyjoy is dead too.
Right. I don't mind them missing any of that stuff. There's also another character they might have taken out, the kid that all of a sudden is supposed to be an heir.
The other young Greyjoy that might be the whatever.
Targaryen, I thought.
A Targaryen, yeah, the one of the lost Targaryens. Lola says this later in the season gives. Ren says she's a teenage mom with a boyfriend and a full-time job, so children suffer. Someone call Child Services of Essos. House of the Black and the White. Jon Snow Joe. Jon Snow Joe, as Ren says. I'm Jon fucking Snow Joe. Yeah. As I hinted at. By the way, if anyone watched that video I put out, the Jon.
Do I keep saying Stark? Do I keep saying it's Jon Stark?
The Jon Snow part, I went on great lengths of talking about what I'm afraid of with the you just made me do it, Jon Snow thing, and seeing if we're going to get as the book ends with Jon Snow at the end of this season, or if that's not going to be till next season. I have a feeling it's going to be this season. But
the great thing, too, about the way books 4 and 5 are really written is they overlap.
Yeah.
So,
But maybe not. Maybe that's one of those things that they'll leave out to let George spoil that, because hopefully...
That's just it. There's so much to talk about, because it's 2 books that basically encompass the same time period for most of those 2 books. And that there's just so much that you don't necessarily know the order that everything's gonna get revealed in this show.
Absolutely, and how much they're gonna leave for next season, and how much is just going to be changed too. It's going to be very, very interesting. Lola says House Martell is my favorite in the books and the show. Lola also says after seeing the fantastic job the show did with Oberon. The Red Viper, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sure whatever they do with the Sand Snakes will be highly amazing.
Yes.
And Joe, you know nothing, says Igor.
I don't. I really don't. I've forgotten more than I ever knew. That's so true.
Is there anything else you want to talk about for your hype for Season 5, Joe?
I would like to... I'm curious about the Sansa
said Joe,
direction.
Katie.
What was that, Katie?
I'm curious about the Sansa Baelish direction they're gonna take. She's kind of, her character is finally evolving in some real way, it seems.
And this is a good point, Katie, because in our podcast that we did earlier about Season 1, Episode 6, I'm sure you can find it in there somewhere.
They're attached to this video.
I thought we were gonna cut it. So,
I'm gonna try. I can't guarantee it.
So if you look back and find that video and other videos, I'm pretty harsh on Sansa, but
just a little bit.
But as her story progresses, she does go through a lot of shit starting at a certain point.
She is victimized.
This is so anybody who's watching this cast knows that Ned Stark's gone, like all that stuff has already happened. She's been from that point on. I start feeling bad for her. I just get frustrated that she's such a fucking Sansa.
She doesn't handle it well.
She doesn't. She handles it kind of. She handles it in a
way that a young girl would, with real experience and just being promised the fairy tale her whole life.
Yeah.
But it's not good.
Nope.
It's in no way, shape, or form a healthy way to handle it.
Right. So by the time she gets to the Eyrie and she's smacking around that little fuckface, and they kill his mother, like I'm starting to feel really good for Sansa.
Love it.
I'm starting to like Sansa. I'm starting to be like, go Sansa.
Yeah, we've come this far with her, and they're finally giving us some meat to it. I feel like I need more because I've suffered this far.
So, and that's just it. She didn't make it into either one of our podcasts because of how forgettable fucking Sansa is.
I talked about her.
Did you? Okay.
I talked about her.
That's how forgettable Sansa is. I forgot you talked about her.
And she's with Baelish now, and Baelish is creepy and whispery and slimy and awesome.
No, I'm actually I'm actually really excited for her. And something Rachel said is absolutely true. I've heard that as well. I heard something really bad happens to Sansa this season.
Awesome.
So what I was gonna say is, end of last season, she seems to be getting to a strong place. So they keep hinting that her story's dark, but she also that something I've heard that from a few different places that something really horrible happens to her this season.
That's awesome.
Lula says Stannis has the personality of a lobster. I want to see more of Brienne. Igor says no more knives to the back of the heads for Sansa anymore. And that's one of those things.
The one true king.
That was one of those things that I was hinting at earlier. I think if the show had messed up on anybody's casting, it was
Stannis.
I love Stannis more in the books than I love him on the show.
Well, I don't think it was the casting.
The writing,
the interpretation.
Because this guy plays that character. Let's remember what Renly and the Flowers Boy are talking about. How he's just unlikable and unlovable.
You're right. The actor's doing a good job, but
the writers ruined him by making him fuck the Red Priest.
So bad.
Like it's kind of toyed with him, but he doesn't actually fuck her in the books.
It's not just
too much honor for that shit.
It's not just that. It's deballing him at the beginning by not making him involved with Jon Arryn stuff and making him not be the one that came to Jon Arryn. It shows that he's so much more capable in the books and gives you right from the beginning that Stannis is not just some tool. He's someone that is a man of action in some ways.
I forgot he was involved in that.
It deballs him from the beginning.
Yeah.
They changed Sam Tarly for the worse, and they changed Stannis for the worst. Yeah. There's certain things that Tarly does in the books, at the Fists of the First Men, when he does other stuff too.
Yeah.
That it was just really disappointing to see they took certain things away from Sam Tarly and they took certain things away from Stannis Baratheon that really made those characters. And I think they kind of thought they already had the super honorable Ned Stark. What do you need the super honorable Stannis for?
Yeah. But it makes Ned's discovery stronger, and it makes Jon Arryn not as big of a character as well. Ren says, I felt sorry for her when she finally got her lemons cakes, and then all hell broke loose. Deserve those cakes, as Katie said. Igor says, do you think that Robin is Littlefinger's kid? I don't think so. I doubt it. Maybe.
I wouldn't doubt it. I think I wouldn't doubt it. Jon Arryn was an old man, and Jon Arryn had no kids. Right?
Ooh, interesting. I want to read this. Lola says, knowing the book, Stannis is one of my least favorite characters, almost of a series in his whining sense of entitlement. He thinks everyone owes him the world, acting like a...
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If those kids really aren't Robert's, he is the one true king. And his brother was wrong for setting up an army and challenging him on that fact. Yeah. And those other lords were wrong. So all of his whining is actually truthful. Yeah, Viserys is kind of too, but he's got nothing to back it up. Stannis has something to back it up.
Well, Viserys might have something to back it up, I hate to say, but doesn't he kinda?
It's
a crown?
A
rather heavy crown?
Or succession of the bloodline. Oh, I guess because the king was overthrown, so the line transfers over to the Baratheon, so he doesn't have any claim.
Right, well that's why technically he does have the claim. That's true. Viserys did have the claim.
Does have some sort of claim of some sort.
He did, but guess what? He's dead.
Okay, then Daenerys does, or the possible.
And he dies before the War of the Five Kings break out.
So if we're to believe everything in the books, or some of the speculation in the books, he never had a right because there's an older brother that has a right.
Who?
His older brother isn't dead in the fucking, or supposedly isn't.
Rhaegar?
Yeah, isn't like. Don't we meet him at some point in the books, if I'm remembering correctly?
Rhaegar Targaryen is dead. No, Rhaegar is dead.
Not Rhaegar. It's what do you call it? Fucking
another brother?
Young Griff over there and shit. It's a speculation he's a Targaryen. He's like
but I think he's a younger. No, he's younger than
younger than Viserys and Daenerys?
Yeah, or he's a cousin or something. Like, it's something weird. I can't remember exactly.
Not proven, but I think the speculation is that he was
a bastard child or something.
Their older brother or some shit. I don't know. I'm talking.
Or maybe it's Rhaegar's kid. I think it's Rhaegar's kid. Yeah, it's Rhaegar's kid. I think it's Rhaegar's children with Rhaegar's wife.
Long, dude. It's been so fucking long since I listened
so
to
much information.
I think Griff might be Rhaegar's kid.
Stannis Griff. Yeah, Igor says Griff. Yeah, Griff. Stannis is gonna burn you and me and all of us. We'll all die together holding hands. Stannis didn't want to be king.
Singing Kumbaya, Red Lord, Kumbaya.
Igor says Stannis didn't want to be king, but he believes rules are fucking rules.
Yes, and I agree with that. I agree. That's just it. There's a way things are done, and the way things are done means I'm supposed to be king, not Renly, not Joffrey, because he's not actually a rightful heir.
But that's why the people don't really like him, too, because he's so cold and just, like, set in those rule-oriented ways. Everything has its place, and everyone has their place, and it should just be that way.
Absolutely.
Right, cut off the fingers of the guy that saved him and everybody else's life on the island.
Yeah, he's cold logic, all with everything. And so that's not very endearing.
The fact that they're cutting... the Griff stuff from the show makes me think that he's not really a Targaryen.
Yeah, that's like I always had my like I thought just when his character came out in the book, I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
It was a little random.
Really, it was very random to me. It was just all of a sudden, here's another one.
Yeah, I think I blocked a little bit out of my mind a little bit.
Doesn't matter. Move on.
And then
with the story.
he doesn't even he has this mission and he's like, fuck that, I'm going back.
Yeah, I thought it was Aegon. Yeah, me too, Rachel.
It was Aegon's kid?
Or was it? I don't fucking know.
No, I think it's Rhaegar's kid.
Okay. Yeah, very cool stuff. But I guess this is a good place to stop.
Which would mean, and that's just it. If it is Rhaegar's kid, I think it means he's the heir over Daenerys.
Yes.
Or Viserys, right?
Or Viserys.
Which is why in the books that's Varys's and Illario's plan is to put him in the throne at some point, if I remember correctly.
Right, and not Viserys.
And not Viserys. But what's happening in the show is Varys is going with Tyrion and talking to Tyrion and telling Tyrion that you need to help her, who said it's a guy, meaning going right to Daenerys, because they're skipping the Griff stuff on the show and making that Varys' plan was to put, I guess, Varys on the crown at first, but now Varys is dead, it's Daenerys. But that seems like a stupid plan, that his plan, Ilario, that means him and Ilario were really going to put Viserys on the throne, which would have been no better than fucking Robert or anybody else.
Because they have to know who, that guy's been raising Viserys. He knows who the fuck he is. That's
where writing the Griff stuff out, if that is true, seems a little is a hole in that, to say that names are familiar. Varys' plan was to put Viserys in the crown at some point until everything couldn't have always been Daenerys. I mean, could it have? I guess.
I think they may have thought that they could use Viserys as a puppet.
Rhaegar's son Aegon is who the Griff thing. Thank you guys. Yeah, Igor and I are saying the same shit. We're so fucking connected, man. My Australian brother. Rob was supposed to do it. I wonder if Jon gets legitimized. I thought that happens in the book. I think Stannis offers it to him. Stannis seems I believe, and I think you'll definitely see that this season with Stannis offering to legitimize Jon Snow at this point. And I think Jon Snow's going to tell him to go fuck himself. Or not fuck himself. He's going to say, respectively, I say no. This is where I belong. I'm a man of the Night's Watch. So I guess this is a good place to end at the 3-hour mark. And bam. It's so everybody, thank you so much for joining us for this season 1 recap at the first half, and at the end here, our spoiler, just speculation, and Joe and Katie.
So much fun.
Joe and Katie, do either of you guys have anything else you want to talk about season 5 before we go?
Father Morgellus?
Cool.
Dragons.
Hodor?
Lilith says season 5. Everyone dies in the last episode. Holger is going to rule the world with dragons.
Hodor.
Hodor.
Yeah, I am so down with that.
And and Phil, I absolutely agree with you. spoil the fucking shit out of me. I don't care if you're gonna spoil the books.
Give it.
I saw season 1 before I even read the book, and when I read book 1, I was like, oh, fucking awesome. Still, I've been dying to know what happens. I know that there's enough changed and enough different that when I do read it, it's still going to be fresh and awesome. And
so my question to you, Joe, is: do you think we get Jon Snow getting stabbed at the end of the season?
I think it happens at some point this season. Sure.
You think it happens this season, though?
If they do that, yes, absolutely.
Dragon, I want Lord Commander Snow. I think that will happen probably mid-season.
Yeah, and it's like a big cliffhanger in the books too. But like, how big of a cliffhanger is it when you have Greystone in the books? Whatever her name is. And how big of when you have the Red Priest take healing Beric Dondarrion out in the fucking.
Nice. Igor got us a new viewer. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that. So, guys, we will be back. We'll be back to talk Vikings later in the week, probably on Friday. But we will be back on Sunday evening, right after the episode airs, or 15-20 minutes by the half an hour point when the episode airs.
To get my shit back together from having my mind blown.
And we will be talking about some Game of Thrones, and we're gonna amp up the Game of Thrones coverage because some of our shows are ending. So like we said, we're gonna try to do probably most weeks do 2 Game of Thrones podcasts during the week. One the episode recap, and then a questions and answers, more spoiler oriented. If you guys want to ask spoiler questions during the question and answer thing, we'll set up a special email where you guys can email questions and all that sort of stuff. So we can do a kind of like a question and answer type podcast, more like we did at the end here, where we're just babbling about speculation and stuff, because that can be fun too. But thank you guys so much, Dragon, Rachel, Renwood, Lola. Dragon, thank you for being able to share us live. A lot of other people that were in here tonight popping through. Igor from Australia, man. Thank you so much. Hopefully the case of piss is going well. I'm drinking my piss over here as well. We get tons of other people that were popping in and out tonight, and all you ninjas in the back that aren't saying anything that we see you. Thank you guys for watching as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we will talk to you guys soon. And oh my God, Game of Thrones season 5 it's right here. It's fucking. I can taste it. Yeah,
I am craving.
Oh, I'm craving. Give it to me.
I want more. I want more of that fucking song.
Dun, dun, dun.
The map. Yeah.
In the map.
The song and the map.
In the opening. Oh. I can't wait. I love it. Changes every season too. I really do. And I watch it and I'm like, oh, what Legoland fucking map shit are we gonna get this time? What weird.
Renwood says, Vala Margolis to the back of the head, Joe.
Toharis Margolis to the back of all of them.
Good night, everybody.
With the king's honor.
Oh, come on. We can't do it. We can't shut up. Yes, we do, Tyrion. Good night.
Good night.
We must stop.